Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome to the second part of our course overview video for the Beyond Craving 30 Sits and 30 Days course, a Buddhist approach to meditation to assist with recovery from addictions of all kind, whether you're addicted to alcohol, drugs, or harmful behaviors. This course is intended to help individuals find and establish and explore a traditional Buddhist meditative practice to assist with recovery from addiction. And it will be 30 guided meditations over 30 days. And in this video, we're going to go over what exactly is a traditional Buddhist approach to meditation. We will highlight some of the elements of what is commonly called insight meditation, as well as the heart practices or the Brahma Viharas. And then lastly, we're going to talk about why is it that a Buddhist approach to meditation is so effective um, for assisting with recovery from addiction. Why there's many approaches to meditation, but specifically this 2,600-year-old spiritual tradition um, is a very time-tested approach to meditation and a very systematic way of retraining our hearts and minds to free ourselves from the suffering of addiction. And we'll get into that later in this video. But first and foremost, what exactly is a traditional Buddhist approach to recovery? Or, well, a Buddhist approach to meditation, more specifically. Um, and I want to be very, very clear here. I am not an empowered Dharma teacher. However, if you do any basic academic study of Buddhist philosophy across the spectrum, you'll find that the two primary approaches to meditation from a Buddhist perspective are what are called insight meditation, as well as the heart practices. And insight meditation can be broken down into what are called the Four Foundations of Mindfulness. You will also find references to what's called Vipassana meditation. And the heart practices are also referred to as the four Brahma Viharas. And these are the practices of metta loving kindness, the practice of compassion, practice of appreciative joy, as well as equanimity. And since this is a meditation workshop and a meditation course, specifically for those of us in recovery, those of us recovering from addictions to drugs, alcohol, and harmful behaviors, we'll also be doing an emphasis on forgiveness practice, which, though not a traditional practice found in the suttas, is still um, a complementary heart practice as emphasized by Buddhist teachers Jack Kornfield, Tara Brach, Sharon Salzberg, and many, many, many others. So, but how should we think of insight meditation and the heart practices? The the easiest way that I have found of teaching this is to think of insight meditation and the heart practices as a two-step process. An analogy that was coined by Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Zen master, who refers to it very much as weeding the garden and planting seeds. In that insight meditation, mindfulness practice, and the four foundations of mindfulness allow us to calm our minds, to put our minds at ease, and start to simply be present in the moment in a non-judgmental way. And it is very much the weeding of the garden, calming things down, which then creates ideal conditions for us to then plant the seeds of loving kindness, plant the seeds of compassion, plant the seeds of appreciative joy, equanimity, finding balance in our lives, as well as forgiveness. And through an insight meditation, the first foundation of breath and body, where we learn to observe our breath and body, be present in the moment, And then we expand that into a second foundation of mindfulness of feeling tone, and then ultimately getting into mindfulness of the mind, and a fourth foundation of mindfulness of the truth, or mindfulness of dhammas, or processes of the mind. All of this will be covered in the course, so don't feel overwhelmed. And over the 30 sits and 30 days, we'll go through what it means to just sit and be here right now in this moment, and how as addicts, that's very much a superpower, to no longer be running from and aversive and avoiding those uncomfortable feeling tones, to learn how to sit with discomfort, learn to sit with unease, to observe it, um, to get that emotional regulation. And then from there, we complement it with the heart practices of metta loving kindness for ourselves and for others. We then complement it with compassion for ourselves and others. And then we learn over time to cultivate appreciative joy or gratitude for that which is good in our lives and good in the lives of others in our community. And we learn balance through equanimity, which is a very Buddhist word, but through equanimity or balance, and we're able to find that peace and ease and that emotional regulation. And then as addicts, we go through a formalized forgiveness process. So, first and foremost, through this workshop and through the 30 sits and 30 days, we will be emphasizing a very basic breath practice at first. We'll be then developing it into the foundations of metta loving kindness for ourselves and others. We'll be expanding that into mindfulness of feeling tones, that which, positive feeling tones, negative feeling tones, neutral feeling tones. We'll be then exploring the concepts of compassion, appreciative joy. Later in the workshop, we will be getting into some Tonglen practice as well as some forgiveness work. But all of that will be revealed over the next 30 sets and 30 days. But I do want to wrap up on this point as to why I'm so passionate about a Buddhist approach to meditation for recovery from addictions. There's many approaches to meditation, and there's transcendental meditation, there's inner child work, there's um, various chakra works from the yoga traditions, but those are other traditions. And in this workshop and in this course, we're going to place an emphasis on insight meditation as well as the heart practices. And these are emphasized at the back of the Recovery Dharma book, as far as the scripts of the guided meditations out of the Recovery Dharma book. And they're emphasized because they're a traditional approach to meditation. And part of why this is such a powerful and such an effective tool is that though Recovery Dharma in some aspects is a very young program, it's based on 2,600-year-old spiritual tradition. This is you could argue that a Buddhist approach to meditation and a Buddhist approach to recovery is, in fact, the oldest, most systematic, and most successful approach to recovery that's ever been developed. It's the foundations of cognitive behavioral therapy. It's the being able to sit and mindfully observe our thoughts and then choose to respond more wisely. These are pragmatic tools that we as addicts are learning and developing in our lives to develop more emotional regulation, to be able to choose how we respond to things in life. And it's through this experience of combining the expanding what's referred to as the window of reactivity, the emotional window of reactivity, and learning how to respond more wisely, and then cultivating these wise intentions, as we like to refer to them in a Buddhist practice, of loving kindness, compassion, and appreciative joy, that ultimately are foundational to living an easier, softer way of living. Um, yeah, so we'll get into all of that during the 30 sets and 30 days. Thank you so much for your interest in our course. If you have additional questions, feel free to reach out to us here at wisefriendsnetwork.com. We're always happy to assist you in your exploration of Buddhist practices and principles. It is our hope, aspiration to make Buddhist recovery made simple. So um, I hope at this point you have a better understanding of the syllabus and the aspirations of this Beyond Cravings 36 and 30 Days course. Um, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments section. Please, if if you don't mind, just due to how the Google algorithm works, if you could like and subscribe to our channel, we sincerely appreciate it. It helps other addicts find our channel. It helps other people in need of these resources to find us. That's just how the Google algorithm works. So, thank you so much for anyone who is able to like, comment, and subscribe. We sincerely appreciate it. Every little bit helps others in recovery find our channel. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Namaste.